Have you ever noticed that the hardest part of homeschooling isn't the actual homeschooling? It's how mentally absent we feel while doing it. We're constantly checking our phones, scrolling between lessons, looking for a moment to escape. And I don't think it's because homeschool moms are lazy or distracted. I think a lot of it has to do with just surviving our homeschool days that feel draining, disconnected, and quite frankly, lifeless. But when homeschooling becomes rich, peaceful, and genuinely interesting and enjoyable, something surprising happens. You stop needing to mentally escape from it. In this video today, I want to share with you 5 tips to help make your homeschool so fun and enjoyable that you are no longer distracted and trying to escape your day. Hi, my name is Laura from The Living Homeschool. I've been homeschooling for over 20 years using the Charlotte Mason method with my 3 children. And in this channel, I hope to help and encourage new and seasoned homeschool moms do this great and wonderful work. So, tip number 1 is to stop recreating school at home. This was something I had to learn very early on, that traditional school structures drain the life out of homeschooling. Now, I have my master's degree in education. I taught in the public school for 8 years. And when I came home to homeschool, a lot of people in my circles thought that I was going to be able to do this so well because I was a teacher. And the funny thing is, I think I had more to unlearn than most have to learn about homeschooling when it came to just the things I thought I knew about education and how children learn. Because I was quite frankly thinking with a traditional school model in my mind of what the role of a teacher was and what lessons would look like and how that would look in my own home. But my experience in the public school caused me to not want to bring that into my home. I did not want to have a stack of textbooks that I had to work through and workbooks and worksheets and quizzes and tests. I did not want to sit all day at the table. I did not want to have to over-explain all day long about, how to do this and how to do that and to teach my children as I normally thought a teacher would do. One of the things I learned very quickly too was that curriculum, while it is a worthy servant, it is a terrible master. It can be a tyrant, creating a rigid schedule with constant pressure on mom to make sure all of the boxes are checked that day. And I just wanted my home education to feel like home. And so I think that's something that we should work towards too. In fact, I don't even really love the word homeschool because school is there and there's just so many connotations and assumptions that are there with school. It's really hard to separate that from the home. And years ago, I heard the phrase home style education, and it has stuck with me ever since as a really beautiful way of describing what it is we're trying to do here, to create an atmosphere of learning with short lessons that honor how children best learn. I was doing really well with this, by the way, until my oldest got to the high school years. And then all of a sudden, it felt like I was at the edge of a cliff. And I had to kind of walk myself back from that edge. And I will confess that for a little while, we returned to some very traditional, schooly types of things. And I think now looking back, it was really out of a place of fear. But I realized quickly that the more our homeschool felt like an institutional school, the more I wanted to escape from it. Lesson times started to feel forced. They were uninteresting. It just kind of began to feel like something we had to do, not something we wanted to do. And I was starting to wear out. And I actually wondered whether I had reached my capacity for homeschooling and whether I needed to think about something different for him, because I was exhausted. But I realized that I wasn't actually exhausted from homeschooling. I was exhausted from boring homeschooling. So thankfully, we course corrected within a few months and we rediscovered the joy and the delight and how stimulating real learning can actually be. All right, so tip number 1 was don't recreate school at home. Tip number 2 is to fill your home with living ideas. You know, interesting learning makes the day enjoyable for mother too. I thought homeschool was something that I had to pour myself out for my children, and of course that is certainly true, but I realized that it was also something that would fill me back up as well, and I realized how important that was. If this is something that I'm going to do with all of my heart and mind and soul for the next couple of decades, it needed to be something that filled me up as well, something that I found enjoyable, stimulating, and interesting. So we read good books together. I pushed aside those textbooks. I didn't include them in our homeschool, but we read lots of really interesting books. We learned alongside each other. We learned together. We used beautiful art and music, lots of walks out in nature, nonfiction and fiction stories, lots of biographies, poetry at breakfast time, all of those kinds of things that made our learning filled with these living, enjoyable ideas. So one of the biggest shifts for me was realizing that homeschooling didn't only feed my children intellectually, it could feed me too. And I have to tell you, in 20 years of homeschooling, this has been one of the greatest side benefits, I have to say, is my own wonderful second education. All right, so tip number 2 was to fill your home with living ideas. So tip number 3 is to create a slower rhythm. Now, I've had a couple of vacations like this in the past, and maybe you can relate, but I've had a few vacations in the past that I was so excited about where we were going and what we were going to be doing that in that short amount of time, that week or 10 days or whatever it was we had, I packed so much experience and places to go and things to do into that one vacation. The itinerary was so overfilled that by the end of the vacation, I was looking forward to getting home. And in fact, once I got home, I felt the need for another vacation from that vacation. I'm sure many of you can relate to that. And if you haven't had that sort of vacation, you can imagine what that would be like. And the thing is, we kind of all understand that that's not a good idea for a vacation. But when it comes to our homeschools, a lot of moms don't see that that's actually what they're doing on a daily basis. So here's the thing, constant rushing through the day creates exhaustion and an urge to escape. If you are overscheduling your days, you are creating emotional exhaustion, not only for your children, but also for you. So I'd encourage you to build margin into your day. That may be slow mornings of family time learning together, lots of time outdoors, maybe a few restful transitions or a few little breaks in between the day. I like to take my kids on nature walks weekly, so we spend a lot of time outdoors. Certainly, morning sun, music, and art in the day are all really great ways of creating a slower rhythm, making sure to keep lessons short and varied as well. So this atmosphere of a slower rhythm throughout the day rather than a rigid schedule really helps to take away some of that emotional exhaustion and that need for escape. Because, sometimes that scrolling that we're doing is not so much addiction, it's more about exhaustion. Okay, so tip number 4 is to let homeschool become a shared life. And obviously, a lot of the things I've talked about have alluded to this as well. But I think because of our educational experience that we've had in the past, we think that our role of teacher should look the way that our teachers had or looked like in our past. One who lectures to us, one who is the dispenser of all knowledge. And that can be exhausting very quickly. And it can make a lot of moms feel quite uneasy. But here's the truth about that. Homeschooling becomes enjoyable when it feels relational instead of performative. So I'd encourage you to have conversations rather than lectures or long talks. Learning together, again, these shared discoveries, this family culture, discussing books over your dinner or listening to an audiobook as you ride to a sports practice, everyone reading together or learning together on the couch. I incorporated narration very early on in our homeschool. It's the key to knowledge acquisition for one thing, but it's also very relational, where I'll read a book to my children and they'll tell me back what they learned and then we'll discuss it a little bit. But seeing education as a life and something that is part of our family culture. Now, even though we certainly do use a schedule in our homeschool, when I finally understood these ideas, the goal stopped being getting school finished or getting done with school for the day, and it became building this beautiful family life and this family culture of learning. All right, so tip number 5 is to add beauty back into your homeschool. Now, I might get a little bit of pushback on this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. Romanticize your homeschool because beauty nourishes the mother too. This is obviously going to look differently for different moms. It might mean a candle. It might mean classical music in the background, looking at art every day, making sure you have tidy, cozy spaces to learn, lots of natural light, and having a built-in kind of daily rhythm to the day. This is not, of course, aesthetic performance. This is not to get Instagram likes or to be Pinterest worthy. Rather, this is nourishment. And nourished moms serve their children so much better because mothers are persons too. We need beauty, imagination, and delight just as much as our children do. So those were my 5 tips. And when we pull this all together, we realize, and I realize, that I don't need constant escape when I've built a life that I actually enjoy. Because scrolling is really to fill emptiness. When we have meaningful days, we reduce the need for distraction, and those distractions just naturally fade away. Homeschooling can truly become very life-giving. I don't think the answer to our phone situation is more self-control with our phones. I think that mothers are starving for lives that are beautiful, meaningful, connected, alive, and nourished. And sometimes homeschooling, when it's approached differently, can actually be part of the answer and instead of being part of the exhaustion. Now, if this resonated with you and you'd like to learn more about the way in which I homeschool my children using the Charlotte Mason method, I have a free Charlotte Mason masterclass. I have that linked below. I'd love for you to check that out. If you are a newer homeschooler or maybe you're homeschooling curious, I also have a free workshop called the Beginner's Guide to a Peaceful Homeschool. That is linked as well below for you to check out. I'd highly encourage you to do that. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.